Alright, leaving the hotel here in Cuba. Actually, it wasn't bad at all. I found the last room in town in this place. I had like 2 out of 5 star ratings. This little was called El Padro or El Petro or something like that. Had very, very low expectation, but apparently they're renovating right now. So room was almost brand new. Was great, cheap. Got up early in the morning. Grabbed some breakfast in town. Now it's 7:45-ish, and getting ready to hit the trail a little earlier than usual. But so it's supposed to be making up some time. Feel very well rested. Did some laundry. Did a few fixes on the bike, moving the luggage. So we'll see how that's gonna turn out in the end. Gassed up, ready to go. Today's plan is to go from Cuba towards Pi Town or El Malpais National Monument. See where we end up. Pi Town is a little complicated when it comes to finding gas. So yeah, we'll just have to see once we get to Grants how we're progressing and kind of go from there. Yesterday, I also accidentally hit my GoPro, the helmet GoPro, in the wrong setting, so it was a really narrow view. So I fixed that, and we're now back to the wide view where it's supposed to be. But yeah, let's get on the trail and see where it leads us. Okay, got my turn coming up here in a second. Somewhere off to the right. There you go. Nice. Giant cattle guard. I think today's ride is going to be the vast majority off-road or dirt roads. Hopefully, it's good for the tires. Definitely in the desert now. I have a little bit mixed feelings about yesterday pushing to Cuba when the trail was really kind of bad coming out of ABQ. But I mean, in the end, it was the right decision. Especially getting a hotel, getting everything set up. I think this harder section out of ABQ would be more manageable now with the luggage set up the right way. Seems like I have a recurring themes of like things to complain about on my trips. The first part of the CDT, it was mostly about the rain gear, how much I hated it. This time it's getting the luggage set up right. It's a little harder to dial in than a Reckless, to be honest, but it's so much more convenient and easy to organize things and pull them out and all that. But this is actually really pretty here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the drone while I'm at it too. This beautiful, beautiful desert track out here is, you can see into the distance for like 100 miles. Gorgeous day, the road is great. This is what I've been looking for. And we're on the actual Continental Divide too. It looks sandy, and I mean it is in bits, but overall great traction. Kind of like a lot of Utah riding. Oh, it's way too much fun to rip through here. New Mexico is just such a beautiful place. It doesn't get nearly as much visitors and attention as like Arizona or some of the other places, but no, got some mud. A lot of people think deserts are dry. Nope. Not necessarily. See if we see any tarantulas or snakes out. Tarantulas are really cool to see. There's a place in southeastern Colorado where every year, actually I think it's in September, they have a big tarantula migration, and it's like right before sunset they all come out. My wife and I went there last year. We went on a little hike and we saw just a ton of tarantulas everywhere. It was so cool to see. I mean, these things are harmless, and really slow. It's really awesome to see. I'll take tarantulas over any other kind of spider. See some motorcycle tracks, but they look a little deeper than what it should be when it's dry. So I bet you somebody went through here yesterday. Probably not the easiest thing in the world, but props to them to keep going. Oof, hill. Been only going for about an hour and a half and already went through 2 drone batteries. Gotta pace myself a little bit. I do have 5 in total, and they are charging in my tank bag while riding, but as you can imagine, the charging isn't the fastest thing in the world, so a lot of cow tracks. Now this is the riding I was looking forward to the most, so I'm happy. I probably shouldn't jump too much with all that luggage, but Sometimes you just have to, even if it's only like an inch off the ground. There's been a couple of ruts that kind of went through the road all the way. That kind of snuck up, and they're almost a foot wide and pretty damn deep. So just gassing it over, it was pretty fun. If you brake too hard and try to avoid them, then you're gonna take a little bit of a dive. I am having some issues with the front GoPro, the 11 mini. It's constantly refusing to charge up and running out of battery, even though it is plugged in. But it's really finicky as to what wires it accepts and stuff. So even though I have like 4 different USB slots on my tower, I'm having to charge it from external battery now. And it's really hard to tell if it is charging from this view because it doesn't have a lamp or LED at the front that blinks. I think I'm gonna replace it with a full size in the next upgrade cycle. And it's having overheating issues pretty frequently too. I love the form factor, but it's just too many little compromises. Alright, turn coming up. The GPS Canon route, or Canon shot route I should say, coming in from the left. And now the routes are combined again. Here we can gas it a little bit. What a nice day. Definitely the highlight of my year so far. Other than my little puppy that I got. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Look at this insane view. Wide open road, dirt. Weather's perfect, temperature's perfect. The bike is amazing. I think these are the moments you wish you could bottle up, take with you. Wow, look at that view. That's insane. Now we're crossing a river. How cool is that? This is really cool. Did not expect all of this today. I don't think I've ever seen this in any of the videos of this track that I've watched. Wow. I know my videos are long, especially compared to others that can put a movie together in a couple hours, and not singling anybody out, especially not Meerkat. His are awesome, but an hour per episode, most people don't want to watch it. Don't really care. I want to watch it. So many incredible things you're missing out if you're not showing everything. And video doesn't compare to the real things, so get out there and ride. If you can. And if you can't, feel free to watch my videos instead. But it's kind of like the videos I used to do of my cave diving trips and trying to explain to people and show people how insanely cool these dives were. being in these caves and experiencing it all. And the video shows 5% of what it's like. The rest you just gotta do it yourself. Hey, cow. Nice little uphill section through the rocks. This is really cool riding. Ooh. Look at these flowers out of nowhere. It's like the only ones I've seen. It's nice. Alright, I think it's time to bring out the drone again. Look at this canyon. How awesome is that? Wash. Ooh. Deep ruts. Nice. You don't always have enough notice to turn on the camera, but got lucky this time. A bunch of these little washes to cross. Ooh, deep sand. Love it. This is a really, really cool part of the CDT. Well, this isn't great. Snuck out of nowhere. Big ass rut. Ugh. Look at this shit. Well, this is going to be fun. Figure something would happen, but gas is leaking out too. Trying to think. We can get back out. Got the bike out. See, damage wise, I think everything looks good, really. I'm gonna have to ride it to make sure. Even the handlebars are still aligned. So I'm gonna pack back up. But this sucks. It's like 5 feet deep. I was just turning on my GoPros up there, saw it, hit the brakes, and then fortunately slid relatively slow down. This is really sandy. I could have also taken this route where there's not that much damage, but I was already sliding and braking, so no way to change it. So I'll get mounted back up. We'll get back to riding. Alright, all packed up and ready to go again. I have to be a little bit more careful here. But this, boys and girls, is why I love this bike. 320 pounds, give or take. Imagine doing that solo with a GS. Hell, I mean, even the Tenere 700, who's 100 pounds more. No. I'll take some discomfort in long road sections, but therefore having something I can pick up, recover any day. But it seems like nothing's wrong with the bike or luggage or anything. Didn't hurt myself other than a few pokes from some thorny things that were rolling around. But the whole ordeal maybe took 15 minutes or so, so nothing major. I do have actually a recovery kit too that I could have tried to use. It's from green chili. It's like a pulley system, but out here it's not a lot of stuff to hook it up to, so I would have to like get one of my bags and bury it in the sand and hook it up to that. That would have been like a multi-hour ordeal, but eventually we would have gotten out. But for now, let's keep riding and enjoying it. I'm not gonna let it ruin my day. This is part of the adventure. Sometimes big adventures, sometimes little adventure. That was a big adventure. Alright, I'm gonna let the cameras cool down and myself, and I'll check in later. Beautiful little tracks here. Lots of, I think there's some mini sunflowers or wild sunflowers or something. I mean, this could have ended a lot worse, my crash. The bike laying on top of me or me injured, but I do have my Garmin inReach in case something happens, but I don't want to use it. But first crash of the trip, at least it was a crash for a big reason instead of just wiping out randomly. I think one factor contributing, because I hit the brakes right away but it just couldn't stop, is the stupid front ABS is always on by default on this bike. So every time I turn it off and then pause to let out a drone or something, it needs to be manually turned off again, and I haven't been doing that. So front ABS kicked in to avoid sliding, though sliding and wiping out in front before it would have been preferable, so I'll have to pay more attention to making sure it's off. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy these beautiful desert tracks that are blooming in September for some reason. That's beautiful. And very sandy. Coming up about to the 1/3 mark for getting to Pie Town, if we do get to Pie Town. If not, it's fine. It's 11 o'clock. Not really hungry yet, but I might stop in like an hour or so, grab some lunch. I think Grants is still a good ways away. I think it's the 2/3 mark, so we're gonna get us up there. But until then, just gonna enjoy these desert tracks. I didn't expect it to be that deserty that quick into New Mexico, but it's awesome. There's a lot of water still here, but luckily not so far on the road. I would have sucked if that big ditch that I fell into was full of that mud. At that point, you might as well give up. Just accept your fate. But I mean, if you're out playing in a remote country, and this is freaking remote, there's nobody around anywhere close by. Just got to be able to help yourself out of things. And if you can't, have a way to get help. Because hiking out 40 plus miles would not have happened either. Yeah, look at that. How crazy is that? Oh. Wow. I did not expect elk out here. Antelope, sure. But that's cool. Wound up on this short stretch of highway out of nowhere. But it looks like I'm gonna jump back on the trail pretty soon. At least I think that it is trail. Didn't take long. I'll get back on dirt. Definitely a few marbles we're driving over, but steadily making our way towards Grants. But it's almost noon, but I'm not really hungry yet. I had a huge breakfast burrito at Cuba, at the Cuban cafe. Man, their green chili is out of this world. Living in Colorado, I'm obviously very familiar with green chili, but their stuff, homemade, ooh, incredible. We climbed up to just over 9,000 feet. Oh, look at these beautiful forests here. What a change from the desert. I don't know, it's a fairly steep descent, but an easy road. San Mateo Springs. Okay. Wonder if it's just a freshwater spring, a hot spring. What kind of spring are we talking? Oh dear. Alright, after all this marble road riding through the mountains, I got spit out on a normal road. Making pretty good progress, I think. And it's a beautiful day, so. Alright, we got our first sign of civilization again. And it looks to be a prison. Please do not pick up hitchhikers. Well, it would be hard on this bike. They always put the prisons in the most beautiful places for some reason. I think this is the last real town until Silver City. It is nicer than Cuba here. At least there's some normal residential. And that truck almost ran over that black cat. Close call. Definitely lost one of its lives. So is my country represented here? Germany. Don't see it yet. Nope. Apparently we're not part of the global community. Guess we lost that privilege. Should be a gas station right up here somewhere. Alright, I am leaving Grant's, got some gas, filled up with water, got a quick ice cream. So now we got 91 miles towards Pie Town, past the Malpais Volcano National Monument area. So not quite sure what the roads are going to be like, but just go for it. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we should have plenty of time. Fingers crossed. We're just a couple miles outside of Grants and getting into this really cool canyon area. It looks like on the map it's going to be just nice canyon riding for a while. Very, very pretty in here. Even though this road is paved, it's such a cool ride through the canyon here. And we're on dirt. Nice. That didn't take long at all. 4 miles. First lava fields here from the Malpais area. See all the black rock in there? That's definitely volcanic. Volcanic rock is also so wicked sharp. A few miles further ahead, road narrowed a little bit. Still a great road to ride. Coming up to more of the Malpais area, but haven't seen any more lava rocks or volcanic like things, since there's big fields just earlier. But I'm sure there will be more. But we're steadily climbing up in altitude too. We're at 8,000 feet now. Alright, dirt road ended right here. So I think it just takes us to the next dirt section, a few hundred yards ahead. There's another warning sign. Let's see, impassable when wet. I will abide by that. Learned my lesson a few times. But it looks pretty dry out. I know I'm a broken record, but when a road is marked as impassable when wet, listen. It is. I fought my way through a couple, so it's not entirely impassable technically, but you're gonna hate your life doing it. I'd much rather drive on ice or wet leaves or mud, but this clay or bentonite or whatever it is, absolute nightmare. Can barely walk it, it's that slippery. And it's not what you think, like deep muds and ruts. No, it's not what it is. It's really just, it turns into such a weird slippery soap. Kind of have to experience it in order to know it. So if you do see it and you haven't been, go ahead and give it a try for a couple hundred yards, see what you think. But oh man, look at this. Big lava fields. How cool is that? Alright, I'm back on 2-track following Brady's route, Meerkat ADV, instead of the regular one, just because the roads look smaller and might be a little bit more fun. We'll see where this takes us. And it looks like we're actually gonna go left, is that right? Yep. So that does not look like a very well traveled route. If we can even find the trails through here. Making my way through volcano fields. Probably not great for tires, volcanic rock. If you roll over it, maybe, but if you're gonna gun it or something, definitely not. And there's a gate up there. See if we're allowed to go through. Please close. Yes, we can do that. It opens right here. Here we go. Ugh. Man, they really tightened up that gate. Alright, let's see where this go. To the left. Massive ruts. No more falling into ruts, canyons, crevices, stuff today. Okay. It's kind of deep, but let's see. We made it through. Oh, do we have to cross this thing a few times? Oh. This is really kind of getting a little sketchy. The route almost completely disappears now. It's definitely getting warmer too. Alright, little volcanic climbs. Trying to avoid all the sharp rocks that are sticking out. Some massive mud holes, so people made like some diversions around it. That would not be fun. Oh man, what a nightmare that would be to go through. It's a pretty area, but maybe this 2-track version is not, that version is not super worth it either. Some extra lava rock just for the end. It's really trying to send me a message here for the last few hundred feet or yards. Main road should be here somewhere. Oh, I see it. Okay. All right. Saw a roadrunner earlier, but way too fast to turn on the GoPro. Up in a big desert plains now. 7,200 feet. It's just after 3 o'clock. Got about 35 miles left. So making an excellent time. Especially if the road opens up there. Alright. That was some riding for the last 60 miles. Nothing bad, but oh. Let's go to Pie Town. Turning off the main road towards Pie Town. It looks like it's actually a dirt road that goes there. Okay. That really marbled gravel roads ended and turned to a normal dirt road with some sand on it. About 20 miles to go to Pie Town on this road. Alright, we're coming up to Pie Town right in front of us. So I'm here in Duffle, which is just 20 miles away from Pie Town. Just got some gas and grabbed a quick bite to eat. They have a campground out here, apparently. That's supposed to be pretty good, so I'm just gonna do that rather than camp in Pie Town. They have facilities. That's nice. Tomorrow I just have to ride back into Pie Town, but that's okay. So today was a pretty interesting day riding. Started out really early. I said that I wanted to leave as soon as possible, just because yesterday got off to a pretty late start around 9:30 and almost didn't make it into Cuba. So this time around, got everything situated at the hotel, got the luggage moved, all that kind of stuff. And then got up at 5:30 at 6 o'clock, had some breakfast, and by shortly, like 7:15, 7:30, I was on the road. The first half of the day was probably the best riding I've had on the CDT so far. It was beautiful desert tracks. It started from just being sandy, and the cholas coming up, and then it started getting a little gnarlier and washouts, and of course my huge crash. It was just a matter of not seeing it on time and being slightly distracted. Once I slammed on the brakes, it was just too late, and I just kind of crashed in, going like a mile or two an hour tops. Nothing at all happened to me. Nothing happened to the bike. It was just stuck 4 or 5 feet down in that in that ditch. It was, once I got the luggage off, it was fairly easy to extract, even though it looked a little daunting. But I got it out of there and kept going. Great riding. Once I got to Grants, just grabbed some gas, and still what I thought was plenty of time to keep going towards Pie Town. Malpais started out pretty good, and then I took that little diversion of Meerkat's route, and that was really tedious and long. It wasn't difficult, it was just tedious, just because it was sharp lava rocks. I couldn't like haul over it, and it was just bumpy like crazy. And then towards the end, it was 30-40 miles of just a really annoying gravel road. But once I got into Pie Town, everything was closed, not a good campsite in space. And so I went to Duffle, got some gas, just 20 miles off of Pie Town. And yeah, now here at the Duffle campground. So got all situated, trying to get up early tomorrow when it's still dark, getting everything packed up. Tomorrow's goal is to make it towards Silver City. Slightly shorter day than today, miles-wise, but terrain-wise, no idea. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.